for 073-2015. It's the bid for Coleman Road Retaining Wall project. Mogan Excavating is the parent low bidder in the amount of $427,396. And Dan, I know you have a...
Yeah, there were a number of different bidders. We had 9 bidders on the project. The prices ranged from
700 to 16,000.
Yeah,
Down to 427.
yes, as high as that. The numbers on, after we got into this a little bit more, the actual amount of stone that we needed, we're actually using walls that gather their strength by actually digging out part of the road and bringing the fabric back under them to give them lateral strength. So once we got into the final profiling of the rocks and so forth, there was more stone on the project. And then when we got into the storm sewer work a little bit further, we had discussions with Bill, and the storm sewer work we thought originally would be done by Public Works. It got a little bit out of their realm of expertise, deeper, requiring trench boxes and other things. So the price on the project is higher than our original estimate, but I think we did get good prices. The traffic control is somewhat involved on the project, and that's included in this. Again, it would be my recommendation. I think they're good numbers. When we did the emergency work last year, that project came in at about $160,000 when it was all said and done. So we had 3 walls, one at $140,000, one at $171,000, and one at $112,000. So I think they're all very valid prices, and then there was a separate price for the traffic controls. So if funds permit, I would recommend that we proceed with all 3 of the walls and get this out of the way.
Hey Dan, whenever we,
On the time.
that's what I was going to talk about, the time frame.
What window was in the bid?
The contract stipulates that the work would start in June, and it would have to be completed. We gave them a little bit of time in September, but we can work with the school district on that. I don't have the end date, but I know we were starting in June. Right after the
School's out.
Yeah, right after school's out and the fire season's
At least the vast majority be done during the summer, then with maybe a little bit overlapping into the September area of school, right?
That's correct.
I know we did discuss something else too. Whenever we were originally talking about it, any stormwater drains coming through there, I don't know if there's anywhere these retaining walls were built, but we wanted to make sure that they went down to the creek.
They all do.
And that is in that? Okay.
I have a question. Dan,
Yes.
you say these bids range from 427 to 716.
That's correct.
What do we know about Mogan Excavating, #1, #2? Why is there such a great disparity of price?
Okay, well, the first question related to Mogan Excavating, I spoke to Joe. He has familiarity with them. They did a project for us, one in Brentwood and one in another municipality. So we have no qualms about them having the manpower and the equipment to do the work. From a perspective of bidding,
What about the quality of the work?
well, there were no issues. That's all that I can speak to. We can do a little more checking in on them if you'd like us to. But I just, we took the bids today. You can table them. We can bring them back and do a little more investigating. But I know that they've completed other projects for Gateway in a satisfactory manner. In terms of the prices, the pricing, what I usually find is there's, a low bidder. And then typically what I see is there's a group of people that are in a range. In this case, we had a very low bidder. We had somebody a little bit higher than him, and then we had a group or a pack together. And then you always have one outlier. So it follows normally what I see in terms of bids. Again, it depends on how much work contractors have, what their availability is and so forth. So, I can't speak to it. It's a good number, and, if they can get bonds and insurance and all their references checked out, I have no qualms of making the award.
Well, then on a typical project too, we don't normally set a tight deadline like that, or a window. This one, we required that, so if they ever are gonna have a hard time meeting that, the price would be higher, they'd bring in more equipment and more manpower. They might normally.
Okay, well, on this, as well as the other two, contract A and contract B, will we have an inspector there?
Absolutely, yes,
And that will be somebody from Gateway?
that's correct.
Okay. And that'll be on all three jobs? All three?
All three
Contract A,
walls.
B, and this one as well?
Yes.
Okay. I'm done.
Anybody else have any questions, or?
Do you think there would have been a significant cost savings had we not had such a tight time frame? Or you don't think that dramatically?
I mean, I tried to make reference to how much the project cost last year on Coleman Road, and I think that the prices, if you look at them, we did the last one last year for about $150,000. So if you take the average of these three, they're actually less than $150,000. So I think just from that experience, that I think that we got a decent savings. I know that if you give people a lot of time and you can close the road down and you don't have traffic control, all those things do affect your bids. But in this case, I still think we got a good value for what is being put forth here.
And someone is going to take care of the detour signs throughout, is that going to be our public?
The other unknown right now is how the contractor plans to sequence the work out there. We haven't talked to the contractor yet. He may be planning on working on multiple sites at the same time. That being the case, there's a little bit of a premium that you would pay for that, and you would expect that in his bid. So until we talk to the contractor, we know how he plans to sequence the work operation out there. We really can't say whether it was a factor of whether the time was a factor of the price that was actually bid.
So that none of these contractors know yet who's low bid or high bid, is what you're saying?
No, they know they were whoever was there for the opening today,
Okay.
but that nobody else would know. And to answer your other question, traffic control is the responsibility of the contractor. It's not, Public Works isn't going to have to do that. That is included in the bid. There's a full maintenance and protection of traffic control plan. We can't put that, I don't want that liability on the township.
I understand, but I just want to make sure that there are detour signs.
Yeah, there's a full traffic control plan. We'll sit down with the police and go through this and get geared up and be ready to go as soon as the date falls into play to get them going.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we award the Coleman Road Retaining Wall project to Mogan Excavating in the amount of $427,396.
I'll
Second
second.
that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.